Good show, good show, good show. Best Bachelor recap ever on the internet. Let's go, let's go. Hello, welcome to You Know Something with Dena and Tia. I'm Dena.
And I'm Tia. And today is Men Tell All, and it's November 13th, 2024.
Yes, the one we have been waiting for to see all our boyfriends again, or all my boyfriends again. So, Tia, before we get into any details, I mean, Men Tell All episode is so different than the regular Bachelorette episodes where there's suspense and crying and drama and all. This is more of just catching up and kind of a reunion, in my opinion. Just in a few words, what was your feeling about this episode overall?
No, I thought it was great. It was great to see what everybody was doing, but I've never watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, so I wouldn't have anything to compare it to.
I just mean, like, as opposed to all the other episodes we've watched this season, the Men Tell All is different because there's no
yes,
suspense or love or anything like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was exciting to hear what their experience was, though.
Right.
Very.
Yeah, because now they're free to say whatever they want to say, and they're not trying to impress Joan anymore, so they can be themselves. So we saw the cold open they like to show. We saw Charles looking around the mansion. You know, these are behind the scenes that we didn't see during the filming. And he's just his typical, cute, curious, impressed self. He's impressed by everything.
I know, I said, sweet little Charles, first out.
And he was like, oh, Men Tell All. I guess he didn't really know what to expect exactly. So, very sweet and innocent. And then Jesse said that the show's episode is going to have laughter and tears and friendship and hope. Where normally on The Young'uns Bachelor, he says the most dramatic reunions ever in the Men Tell All. So, in lacking in drama, we've got a lot of sweetness, you know. And, you know, I don't know how much sweetness you can take before your blood sugar goes wrong. But it was a sweet episode, I guess. So the first episode of Joan's journey started with 24 men. We've got 15 on this. And I'm not sure if they invited all of them and those people didn't want to come because they're like, well, you don't even know who I am, or it was a bad experience for me. Or if they thought, well, this is our budget. We can only invite this many people. But I remembered all these guys. I think if we had gone all of them, there's probably some that I wouldn't even remember. So I think it was a good representation. And we had CK, Bob, Greg, Christopher, Captain Kim, Michael, Dan, Jack, Charles, Mark, Pascal, Jonathan, Keith, Gary, and Jordan. And we finally got to edit out Gil, for however you feel about him. He was not there, even though he made it further than some of the guys that we see here tonight. So I really want to talk about what matters most, and that's how they looked, their fashion. We'll talk about Joan's fashion later on in this episode. But the men's fashion, Tia, I sent you a photo of all the men in their finest, the way they looked. And so we're going to pick best and worst. Not to be mean, but people are always judging what Joan wore and criticizing what Joan wore. So we get to do a little criticizing back. Although Tia may not want to participate in that. But I generally thought they all looked great. So when I say worst, it was the worst of that group. But I thought they all looked great. And I think it's interesting to see how they started out just ordinary citizens on a show with everybody watching them, looking like themselves, bringing the clothes they had at home. Because when you're a contestant, you don't get a wardrobe, you don't get makeup, you don't get hair. You have to do everything yourself. And maybe they watched themselves back and thought, whoa, is that me? You know, like when you go out to dinner with your friends or go to a party and people take photos and then you go home and get on your Facebook and then all of a sudden these photos you're tagged in start coming up and I think, did I really look like that? I can't imagine what it's like to see yourself on national TV and everybody commenting underneath everything about how you look and your friends and family chiming in. So my whole point of that is, did they zhuzh themselves up? Did we see improvements in these men? Maybe they got hair and makeup done for this show. I don't know. Maybe that was provided for them. But generally, overall, I thought they all looked pretty great. What about you?
Well, I mean, you said best or worst. I thought you meant do them from best to worst.
Oh, I see. So you've actually. Oh, that's
Yeah,
great,
I
Tia.
did.
You went to a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Actually.
And I didn't go to this much. I didn't pick all of them, so I'm very interested. I'm gonna bring up the photo so I can see it, and I'll include it in our show notes. This one photo. It's hard to put photos in certain show notes, but okay, I'm ready, Tia.
Okay.
The very
I thought
worst.
the worst dress on the show was Jack.
Agreed. It's his look.
Mm.
It's Jack. We expect it, but
Yeah,
it
but
looks like an ice cream man.
It's just good.
Pink jacket in case you guys
Right.
aren't looking. Yeah.
Then the second worst dress was Keith. I didn't like the all white.
Right. Right.
Then was Charles L.
Oh, our lovely Charles L. You did not like his look.
No, I did not like his look.
You know, I just listened to him on the radio on the way here, and he just had this suit custom made, and I'm looking at it, and it's not.
It doesn't fit.
It's too long, and it's too tight in the stuff. He had it custom made with his name on the inside and everything. Get your money back, Charles. We love you, but I like the color, the gray and the lavender. A man's fit of his suit is really important, no matter how nice it is. Okay, go ahead.
Then Michael.
Okay. You prefer a tired? You think he just looks... Oh, I see that. His jacket's a little ill-fitting, too.
I don't know. When I was looking at him, this is just what I wrote.
Okay.
And I was thinking, okay, the next one is Greg.
Yeah, I don't think we expect fine tailored outfits from Greg. He's a beach guy. Okay, I agree.
Okay. Then Christopher.
I couldn't really see him. I kind of like the black on black, but I couldn't really see him well.
Then Kim. I'm not calling him Captain.
You just don't like him, period. But okay.
Then Dan. Then Gary.
Oh, okay.
Then Jordan.
Yeah, he didn't really try, did he?
Okay. Then Jonathan.
Okay, we got to stop talking about Jonathan. He didn't show his chest. Can we give him points for that?
I know.
I'm not an ascot fan. To me, that's just as presumptuous as having your shirt buttoned down to your belly with the matching. If he had just taken that ascot off and put on a tie, he would have looked great because his suit fits great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then Bob. His suit is pretty. I'm not looking at the men. I'm looking at their suits.
Okay.
Then Mark.
Okay. Yeah.
Then Pascal.
Really? Okay.
And then the winner of the best dressed, I thought, was Charles K.
I wanted to say that too.
Well, then why didn't you?
Because I thought he wasn't a big player, so but you were
It
fair
didn't
about
matter. I was
you're
playing
right.
who I thought was best to worst dressed, like you had asked me to do.
Yeah. So where did Pascal come in on your list? Second or third?
Second.
Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, I thought Charles too. I looked back and thought his suit fits so nicely.
No, he just looks really, really handsome.
He does. I always thought he was handsome. Yeah, Pascal, now that we can see them all standing together, Pascal's just a little pocket person. I told you.
What do you mean a pocket person?
Well, I could fit him and Charles in each pocket. That's all I'm saying.
No, whatever.
Okay. But I agree with you on Charles, but I was going to say Pascal. So, and then I had Gary at number 3. And then worst dress was Jack because the pink. Just the 80s, the pink blazers, Miami Vice was nice, but he's trying to stand out. Okay. Good playing, Tia. Very interesting. They show a little package of highlights from the season to remind us of how fun it was. The Chippendales. You just speak out if any of these, you had notes about any of these. They were, of course, laughing hysterically watching it. And they asked Jonathan, are you sure you haven't stripped? And it was a fun season, and we're just reminded of that. I don't recall seeing anything that was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that happened, or, oh, that was behind the scenes. It was just kind of sweet. Gary, I listened to an interview with him, and he said it was nice to see everybody, but they asked him if he would give advice to anybody as far as being on the show, and he said, I wish I had brought a steamer, and Tia is the queen of the steamer.
No, mine's somewhere in another country. They took it from me.
And she said, always take a steamer on a cruise ship. And I said, I think they confiscate them, I read. And you said, no, they don't. But your cruise ship's your steamer's living a better life than you right now. Right? All right. But I could see you throw your clothes in a suitcase. You probably have a limited amount of suitcase, and you can't hang things up because we saw the closet space. So he would have brought a steamer. I don't think wrinkles would have made a difference in how his outcome would taken. But he said he was hoping he'd make it a hometown because he wanted to take Joan to his church for their date. Is that not the sweetest?
Very.
And he said he would participate in another Golden Bachelor, like if they have Paradise and Tia Paradise, is where they all go to a resort together, all the contestants, and they just let whatever happens. A lot of marriages or relationships have come out of that. So he said, I will participate, but I've got to lose 30 pounds. My kids have not stopped teasing me for my stomach in the Chippendales, and said, what were you thinking when you did that? He was just trying to participate. That's the way I see it. But I look a little chub. I'm a chubby chaser. Keith said he wished he could take back the thing where he said, I've always wanted to be a Chippendale dancer. I don't know if it was on this show or if it's something I heard. That didn't go over well with Joan. He said when he watched the winery date that they had together, when he was watching the show this season, he felt like he tried all he could try, but he just wasn't enough for Joan. He said he teared up because he heard himself confessing how he felt. So I think we missed a lot on some of these dates. I thought that was kind of interesting. These men opened up more than we think they did in what they showed. And he said they were just two different people. And he was a big Bachelor watcher, and he knew what to do, but he just clammed up. Once he got that first impression rose, he said, I just overthought everything. So I kind of like Keith. I would like for him to be the Bachelor, I think. Mark said he wouldn't have stripped if it hadn't been for cancer. They talked about Gary snoring.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what he said about that?
No, it was Greg snoring.
Greg's, yes. And he said it was so bad that it made him go seek medical treatment once he realized he was snoring.
Because he had sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know where you are, but I just said, shows Joan and all of her gorgeous outfits. Then Keith, and then I went, wait, when did Charles go from gray hair to black hair?
Yeah.
And Greg is a snorer, is what I put.
Yeah. Christopher said he kept the door open all night when they were sharing the room because of bodily functions and smells in the room, which I can just imagine. That many men in a room together. Michael, who some people have probably forgotten about, he was wearing a pink ribbon on his suit and revealed that he had been diagnosed with cancer just before he went on the show, before he was accepted. So he felt like that was a very positive, he needed to get away and be held up by all these men, but he didn't tell anybody. So I thought that was very interesting. But he said that they caught it early, and he's doing, I immediately thought prostate cancer for some reason, because men live long enough, they're probably going to get it, and if you catch that early, it's very treatable, so hopefully he's going to be okay. The show made him feel more hopeful. And Jesse revealed that Bachelor Nation is going to match all the money that was donated from their Chippendales thing, so it was worth it in the end. We learned that Jack has a background in chandelier cleaning, because they showed him talking about how the chandelier. Did he say the chandelier needed to be cleaned, or it was clean? Do you recall?
No, it was clean.
It was clean, okay. That's good. I wonder about that house, all that goes on in there, if they keep it clean. And the biggest drama, they said, was when Jack was telling Christopher not to put barbecue sauce on the burgers when he was grilling them. I still say no barbecue sauce.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, barbecue doesn't mean that literally. Barbecue sauce, it means putting it on a grill. And then what did Jack do for the whole audience, Tia?
I don't know. What did he do?
He made burgers for everyone in the audience. Did you know that?
Yes. I'm sorry.
That's
I didn't
okay.
write that down.
Well, I can understand.
I was just like, wow.
Yeah, you don't have to write everything down. That's what I do. And Jack's recipe is salt, pepper, and garlic powder. That's all you do. You just leave it alone.
Well, I think that is the best burger anyway.
I do too. Do you put like steak sauce on your burgers? Like
No,
A1
I
or
do
Heinz?
not.
Me either. If you've got a good piece of meat, you don't need it. So they brought Jonathan to the hot seat.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I said, by the way, on Captain Kim.
Captain Kim.
Meaning I was like, he's still not a captain. And then
he was sometimes
No experience is the best experience. And that was from Charles.
And what is that? What did that refer to? I don't remember that.
He said sometimes no experience is the best experience. Meaning he didn't have any experience in a whole lot of things. Like the kickball.
Yeah.
But that was the best experience he'd ever had, but he had no experience in it.
Yeah, and he did pretty well. Like
yes,
he
kicked
did a home run.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't a home run, but he.
I don't know what you call it in kickball.
Bases were loaded. And then I said the awesomeness of all the guys sharing their experience.
Yeah.
And then I said, first on the couch, Jonathan.
Okay, good. I'm glad you got your notes out. Yeah, it was just all in all a feel-good segment of that show. We're not used to feeling good watching The Bachelor. I'm not. You didn't have that experience, but... So, Jonathan said that Joan made him feel comfortable and safe.
No,
those keywords.
No. Jonathan said safe.
We're kind of sick of that word, aren't we?
No, I put, I actually may be the weirdo. That's what I said.
Oh, because you don't, safe is not a positive word to you.
And I might be the weirdo.
So. Well, you can't grow and learn and progress if you're safe. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Now, I've had a pretty safe life. If I'd had a pretty, I don't know, have I? I don't know, I've had a pretty crazy life. But if you've been through trauma, I guess that's what you're looking for. He said Joan filled the hole in his heart with the validating his feelings about feeling the same way, kind of the way she did, I guess. And then you want to tell the story about the note he found after Mark left?
Well, before that, he had to say, well, I am seeing someone.
Right.
Okay.
He wanted to let Joan know.
Oh, yeah. And so that's when I was like, ugh, again. Like, I said, okay, wow. With Mark and the sticky notes, to even think that people call women emotional, I said, this is completely yummy to me.
Yeah. Why don't you tell, in case our listeners don't know what he did, what happened, the sticky note story.
He wrote sticky notes to Jonathan and left them there for Jonathan when he left. And he was saying, you know something, you are more than what you think you are.
Yeah, he's left it his coffee cup because we know how Jonathan likes his coffee to make him the magic happen.
Go poopy.
Yeah, the sticky note said, remember this, he's supposed to affirm himself. I am strong, I am interesting, I am handsome, I'm deserving, and I am enough. And doggone it, people like me. That's what it made me think of from Saturday Night Live. But
I bet Mark is such a gentleman.
He is. He's a very kind person.
Very kind.
Now, I have a picture, Tia, of Jonathan's girlfriend. Have you seen one of her?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm going to see who you
I don't look. Okay.
Who does she kind of remind you of?
Nobody?
She reminds me of Joan.
Oh, okay.
He likes tall, blonde, thin women, is what he said on the show I listened to. And she looks when you want to say age, quote, appropriate. She doesn't look like super younger than him to me.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, she does? Maybe it's, okay. I tried to find out how old she was and I couldn't. She's, her name is Michelle. In case people want to research her. Her Instagram account is private because Michelle Zimmerman. And at that time of the mental all, they had just started dating, but now on his Instagram, says he thinks she's the one. So, I mean, good for him. And she contacted him through, I think he said a dating app. They contacted each other. So, good for them. Good for love. I know you've totally turned on Jonathan, but now by the time they film the next Golden Bachelor in June, maybe they will have broken up. I'm not wishing that, but a lot of people were heartbroken, I think, over that one. Yeah, and Mark had also said, Jonathan, just in case I don't get to stay, which is so sweet, because he didn't. I am humbled to have met you. I've enjoyed this time we shared. Place the sticky note on your mirror to remind yourself of how special you are. Who knew men acted this way? I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Your husband's pretty sensitive, isn't he?
Yeah, and he has friends that are super sensitive as well.
That's good. All right, do you have anything else to say about Jonathan?
Nope.
All right, Mark is on the hot seat, the kind person we just talked about. And he said he and Joan had a lot in common because they had both lost their spouse, not to divorce, but to death and to cancer, right? They both of them had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't choose to lose them like some of these people did. He reiterated the hummingbird story where that was his sign to move on. His daughters were in the audience. No, his daughter.
Yeah,
Were they?
Yeah, all of the guys' children were in the audience.
Okay, I think his one daughter who was on the Bachelor before it was in.
She wasn't there. Her fiance was.
Yeah, he sent him as a representative. I think he might win Dancing with the Stars this season. He's doing pretty well. Mark said it was a transformative journey, and could he possibly be the Golden Bachelor? I don't know. Could be. And I heard Joan say that he is one she regretted sending home, him and Jordan, because she felt if she had more time with them, there was really something there with the both of them. But she's happy with who she ended up with, she said so. Or if she ended up with anybody, she said. She's happy with the way things turned out. Let me say that. I truly don't know if she picks anyone. They just weren't moving as fast as she felt for them. All right, so you have anything else to say about Mark on the hot seat?
Nope. I just said he's such a gentleman.
He is. Do you find him attractive?
Yes, I do.
I do too. You just didn't like his suit.
No, he ranks pretty high up there. Thank you.
All right.
No, he was just boring on the
he
one-on-one.
He was. All right, Charles, our sweet little Charles, he comes down on the hot seat, and as Tia, you mentioned, his hair has changed.
Yeah, and he said it was due to food, and I went, question mark?
I want to know that food.
I just want to eat whatever he's eating, because if your hair can go from gray to black,
I'm eating it.
I'm in.
I'll trade some chubby thighs for natural hair.
Wow.
Keeping up my hair is my pain in my life. Yeah, I agree. I thought that was funny too. But which way do you like him better, the gray or the black?
You see, I'm weird. I love salt and pepper hair.
I thought he looked better that way. It's
What?
just a little salt and pepper. I really did. I thought he actually looked younger that way.
Yeah.
That hair color can be harsh, but if it makes him feel happy, But I felt that was really funny that he decided of all people to change himself. I thought all the other ones would, not him. Of course, they just blow up his ego. Charles Mania is sweeping the nation, and he's loving it. And his daughter said he's kind of becoming Hollywood, They went to a wedding in London, and he was on that dance floor. They showed a picture of him dancing. I hope they don't ruin him. Don't ruin our little Charles.
Oh, no.
He's so innocent. He loved his experience. He said, to say the least, the friendships he made mean a lot. So, do you think Charles is going to be the Bachelor? Did you feel like they were kind of...
I don't know.
The audience member stood up, I don't know who that was, and said, Charles, we think you should be... All the Bachelor Nations, on behalf of Bachelor Nation, we think you should be the Golden Bachelor. If not, my mom's available. Again, I'm just not attracted to him. You could say he's a little sweet, little pocket person, as far as I'm concerned. Any other thoughts on Charles?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just tickled that he's come out of his shell.
He really has.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, goodness. All right, we'll see what comes with Charles. So, on the Bachelorette application, it says, who would you participate? Who would you want the Bachelor to be for you to participate in the show? Pick one. So people will have to pick him for him to be it. I think they would definitely take that into consideration. If they can't find women for him, then... And I'm not assuming there won't be. I'm just saying he's very sweet, and I don't know. I just don't see him running a whole show like that, like Joan did. We'll see. All right. The bonus footage, we saw your man Pascal leading a meditation session. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of that?
I said, Pascal is absolutely killing me with the facial and the trance, as well as the pans as symbols.
Yeah, I don't know if you have symbols. I guess you have symbols when you meditate. I don't know.
Well, I mean, He was banging the pans and
Yeah.
going,
And their mantra was Joan. Joan.
whatever.
Oh, how funny. Captain Kim.
I said, Kim, yucky. He is a destroyer, all right.
No, he was on a destroyer.
No, I said, he's a great catch for someone, just not for me.
All right, I'm still into him a little bit.
Good.
Can you imagine how he would get me into ship shape? Get my house ship shape, my car ship shape?
No,
No, you don't think he would?
no. If I can't, nobody can.
But he fixes things. He's fixing the dishwasher, and I think
My
the air
husband does
conditioner.
that.
He
That's
said he'd
not
actually.
big deal.
He said he'd actually blow up part of the kitchen in the mansion because it was not up to par. He's just a little cocky. I admit it. But I kind of like him. And then the Mansion Men song, a male chorus came out, and really, I thought it sounded pretty good. What'd you
Okay,
think?
guess what? I said, the song again? No, no, no. He's on my nerves yet again. No, please, I'm begging. Please don't. And then,
You took the time to write all that.
Yeah, I
Please
did.
don't.
and then they, I don't know what that says. I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
You really hate that song, don't
No, it just is dumb.
you?
I did take the time to write all that. I did.
She writes in cursive, beautiful
No, I
cursive.
don't.
Is it not cursive? Oh, okay.
No.
She writes with a pen on paper because she has too long. Her nails are too long to type. But she
No,
took
they're not.
You took the time to write. Don't.
I just had them cut.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, for whatever reason, you choose to write with your pen.
I can't type that fast. I'm not a typist.
All right. So I mean, Captain Kim was so proud. His
That's
face
so
was
gross.
beaming, wasn't he? You got anything else to say about the Mansion Men song or Captain Kim?
I think I pretty much summed it up since I said I threw up in my mouth a little. That's pretty much all I need to say.
Yeah, it kind of sums it up, doesn't it? All right, so then Pascal is in the hot seat. I was interested to see what they would ask him about. You know, did he come off as a villain? In Tia's mind, he did not. In my mind,
He what?
came off as a villain when he hurt Joan. But you defended him.
I said he looks better with his goatee and mustache for sure.
Agree. He looks older without that facial hair, doesn't he?
And I said, oh no, the stupid ceremony again.
They asked Pascal what he felt, you know, when he actually saw Joan's side, because they don't see what Joan says to the camera until they watch the show back, and he saw how emotional Joan was over the breakup. He said it was emotional to watch back, and he said I felt like if I had more time, I might could have gotten there. She's worthy of love. I think he's just trying to make her feel better. I think you and I came to the conclusion she just wasn't his type. There wasn't a spark. He learned that it's okay to cry. I learned to be a better father by being on this show, and then his cute son that Tia and I have a crush on inappropriately stood up, Maxim, and really praised his father again. His kids just love him so much, don't they?
But I said he can see and feel it, meaning like when he had to rewatch that ceremony. And then I did say she is worthy of love. Of course she is.
Yes.
I 1000% get what he's saying because it was too much, too soon, and it was like, bleh.
Yes, exactly. And I heard Joan talking about that today, about that. She said she was uncomfortable with that date. She said that was like a marriage ceremony, but I really felt like if we could just get through it. She said I could tell he just wanted to run away. That's why I asked him immediately at dinner, what did you think about that date today? But she said, I thought we would go on and go to the fantasy suite and talk, her say, I didn't want that to happen. And, they could work it out. But she said his mom was obviously already made up. So I think she was really, truly heartbroken. I really do. But Tia, I wanted to let you know that, I had told you that Pascal wants, if he's going to be the next Bachelor, Golden Bachelor, he wants younger women.
I don't blame him. It's his choice.
It is his choice. He said he has a lot to offer. He's, established. He's kept himself in shape. And his wife was 25 when they married, and he was 43 when they married. Of course, they're divorced now, so I don't know. I can't do math that quick, but that's almost 20 years difference. 18 years. 18 years. So that's kind of what he's looking for. So when you fill out the bachelor application, you put how young will you date and how old will you date. So if he's got that application and he says, what is he now, 66? So 20 years. 69. Okay, so it could be 49, late 40s. So I just don't want us to get into the 30s because that's regular bachelor, 20s to 30s. So that would really mess it. I don't know.
But I said also about him, I said, family, friends, whatever can make you feel guarded. Yippee. His son is so stinking pretty. And then I said, and yummy with his emotions.
Yeah, it's been a good experience for everybody so far. I haven't heard anybody say it was a negative experience, so it really helped his family situation, I think. So he's right. I mean, I truly believe date as young as you want without judgment, but it makes me evaluate you a certain way. Not badly, just he's not going to want women his age. So it's going to change the dynamic of the Golden Bachelor, and it would, I don't know how the audience would respond if they would be so excited about that. But in any case, that is Pascal being honest, and if he's not anything, he's honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he tells
I think he's a lot.
Yeah. All right, so do you have anything else to say about Pascal's hot seat before we bring out Joan?
Nobody.
Okay, you're still a fan of Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Joan comes out, and her dress was polarizing on the internet. I read so many comments.
I said, Joan, the dress, I could never pull that off.
But did she pull it off?
I think there were dresses that she wore on the show that were much more attractive than
More
that.
flattering to her.
Yes.
I read so much when I first saw it, I was like, va-va-voom. That was what I thought. And I thought she's really trying to show the men, you missed all this, you know. What's Monica and Friends says, don't you want some of this? Don't you want all this? Because she was showing a lot. But I liked it. I thought, you know, as a woman of a certain age, wear what you want to wear. But you just meant she might have been more flattering. Because you've seen her look better, is what you're saying. All right, that's fair. That's fair. But it's good to be talked about, and she's been talked about with that dress. And it's called Cult Gaia, and it's about $1,900. So, I mean, if the dresser comes to you and says, I want you to wear this $2,000 dress, va-va-voom dress, you're going to say yes. Do I look good in it? You look fabulous, Joan. So I saw the guys kind of eyeing it, so maybe she achieved what she wanted to achieve. I don't think age should be a factor. People said she needs to cover up her skin. At a certain age, you need to cover your skin because it doesn't look as good. Well, I say to those people, do what makes you feel good. You know, when she saw them injuring themselves with the kickball game, she realized that they were really giving it their all. So she needed to. They're committed. I need to commit. When they were asking about her journey on the show, and she realized she wasn't giving what they were giving. So that was a turning point for her, that kickball game, because a couple of them had surgery after that, I believe. And that it was great to see them all again, and that they all want to be her friend. You know, let's get numbers, let's exchange numbers. So she kind of turned into a mother figure for them, I think, or maybe a big sister figure, which is.
I put Charles hurts my heart so bad.
Oh, because she told him he really looked handsome, and yeah, I mean that. I think Joan wanted to be the sex symbol, the desired symbol, and so many of the men. When you're a caretaker like that, people kind of see you that way. So, but she can't date all of them. She can't marry all of them, so it's okay. During the Bachelorette season, Joan's mom was very sick, and I felt like she was like seriously, seriously sick, and Gary was praying for it. Did he give her a card or write a prayer? What was he did during the show that was so sweet? I can't remember.
He gave her a card and then prayed with her.
Let's pray with your mother. All right. And apparently the prayer worked because her mom's in the audience, which I was shocked. She looked great. So that's amazing. So Gary was just being his typical sweet self, right?
Yes.
Okay, I've got a note about Jonathan and.
Oh, wait a minute. I have Charles is a doll baby because there's something that happened with Charles again because he's just funny.
Yeah, well, you know, Joan said that Charles told her that the happiest day he'd had since his wife died was that prom date.
Exactly, but they showed back when he said, Charles not in charge, you in charge. That's what it was. And that's why I said that he's a doll baby.
Yeah, exactly. He's funny. What if he's got us all fooled and he's really like some playboy worldly guy that doesn't even have an accent? That would be funny. Jonathan thanks her for starting his journey off because he has now met someone, like you said. So.
Yeah, I know. And I said, Jonathan, of course. He has to make it all about him.
Wow. Wow, Tia.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was still jabbing at her when he said that. Thank you for opening up so I can find love. I found it. I found it. So we think maybe Mark might be dating an actress from One Tree Hill. I think we mentioned that before. And you know, Tia, I showed you a picture of Jordan with Leslie, who was the runner-up in Gary, the Golden Bachelor season. And, you know, they had their faces together smiling, which could be very innocent, just a selfie together. And then I saw the rest of the photo. And this is the rest of the photo. She has her legs wrapped. She's up in the air with her legs wrapped around his waist. I think it might be a little more serious, which makes me very jealous because you know how I feel about Jordan. And then I just have like Pascal said, Joan is an incredible woman, and I hope with me leaving, you were able to find the right person.
She even said that bonding ceremony sucked. That's what I wrote.
Yeah, so they kind of had a one-on-one. I mean, it wasn't like a face-off like I thought it was going to be like.
Right.
But I think Joan said to him again, I thought we could work it out, but you had your mind made up. I felt like she was jabbing back at him. He hurt her, and she hurt Jonathan. So hurt people hurt people, as we say. I thought it was a little snarky, what she said. Pascal said, I love you, and I want to be in touch. Stay in touch. I just wonder if these people really will stay in touch. And basically, there was just no drama because it's a mature show. It's a mature breakup where you don't have too much drama unless you're Guy or Gil. Then you have some drama, as we learned. Now, if Pascal had stayed, Pascal, Guy, and Chalk on that Tahiti thing, and do you think she would have sent Guy home? I know you don't like to guess, but just seeing the whole thing and how she's
what?
If Pascal had not self-eliminated, do you think she would have sent Guy home? Because she had to send somebody home on that Tahiti date.
Probably because I think she really liked Pascal a lot more than, I mean, because rejection is hard, and so I don't think that she's ever going to say, God, I really liked him.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, I think I was shocked at how hurt she was. So.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that'll make Guy and Chalk feel when they watch it, whoever she picks, to see her say that.
Yeah, but I don't like either one of them now.
You don't like Chalk or Guy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no. But you'll win. You want her to just go, not choose either one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Tia. Overall, she was shocked to see how sensitive and vulnerable all the men were, because she thought men were like, we talk about sports and we fart, and of course they did fart, but we're just talking about bodily functions in sports. So she was amazed to see how they all interacted with each other. I heard her say, they asked her if she would do anything differently watching back the season, and she said the rose ceremonies were hard, and she regrets some of the people she sent home, but they would not have ended up in her final four for hometown. So it ended up being right, but she said, I probably did it in the wrong order. So maybe hurt some people's feelings before I needed to. All right, bloopers. Did any bloopers stand out for you? As just knee slapping.
The train was hysterical. And then Charles and a long bob, killed me.
Yeah. That was Joan's big exit of the limo from the premiere episode, and she got out, and her and Jesse was saying, her train's going to get caught, going to get caught, and then it did, so that's funny. So I guess she had to get back in and get out again. I don't know. Yeah, and Pascal, that was Pascal's horrible haircut that he did for his talent, and he put Charles in it. And there was a montage of them all groaning when they were sitting down and getting up off the furniture.
Mm-hmm. And I said, well, everybody sits down like I do. That's exactly what I said.
Do you ever?
And then I said, why does Jonathan talk about poop so much?
He really is obsessed with poop.
Yep.
Yeah, even more than us. Now that's saying something. lots of bodily function talk. And Pascal asked, "You guys really all fought?" He makes fart sound elegant. Fought. You all fought. And that's the last time I'm gonna say that word on this episode. I promise. So that's basically it. The teaser for the finale. I don't know if you don't like to watch that, Tia, so I don't know if you turned it off. But they go to Bora Bora, which is gorgeous. Nancy's still there for Joan's support, and then her family's going to come there to meet her final two. Did you have anything else to say before we wrap it up?
I said, why are all the spas there? I mean, it's making me have a hot flash.
What do you mean?
What is the spas?
The spas.
Maybe it's not.
Making you have a hot flash.
Yeah, I said it's making me have a hot flash. And I said, the rooster crowing is hurting my heart.
Yeah, every time Joan would try to speak that, cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah. And then at the very end, I went, I'm a bit confused.
Oh, about how it ends?
Yeah.
Okay. She did say, I've only been in love once, but now I'm in love again. She said there's going to be tears, but some of the tears are going to be happy, I promise. And she also said on something I listened to today that the ending, the finale, she said it's going to be surprising. And she said, I know everybody says it, but it's an ending that's never happened before. There's going to be twists and turns that surprise all three of us. I'm assuming she means Joan, Guy, and Chalk.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that means.
I think it means I hope she doesn't pick any of them.
Think so?
I think Guy looks plastic.
Oh.
He looks like a plastic figure. He does.
Okay.
And then Chalk, I think, to me, now looks like he's a big fish in a little pond in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh.
But that's about all he is.
Wow. Tia, you are rough on people. I mean, you are picky, let's say. You are...
Extremely.
Yeah. I mean, why not? You deserve what you deserve and what you
Well,
want
no,
what you
I
want.
don't deserve anything. It's just that that's how I kind of feel. And I started out loving him.
Yeah, I mean,
Chalk.
you like Guy last week when we talked about how he handled the hometowns.
I know. It's just that I started seeing him, and then he kind of does look like a wax figure.
Well, maybe he's just had too much Botox.
Maybe.
Since he's a doctor, he probably could just shoot himself in the face with Botox. So, Tia, let me ask you, and they all sing The Mansion Men as an ending, so Tia was happy to hear that again, I'm sure.
I was happy to hear what?
They all sang Mansion Men on the way out. So, if any of the men that we know could be the Golden Bachelor, and I think sometimes they announce it on the Men Tell All, who's going to be, but I think they're waiting because maybe it's whoever she doesn't pick. It could be Guy or Chalk. And they may not have decided yet. They got to do research and stuff. And the men have to be willing to go through all this again. That's kind of rough when you just finished it to do it again. So it may be a while before they decide. But including Guy and Chalk and all the other men, who would you enjoy watching as the new Golden Bachelor? Any of them.
Really?
Yeah. Pascal, really?
Of course.
Okay. You're a diehard Pascal.
I think he's got emotions over emotions, and I think that when he commits, he is committed to the nth degree. If he wants somebody younger, good for him. I mean, he's 69 and looks, 45.
He looks good.
Yes.
I agree.
So,
I would watch it if it was him.
I don't think it's going to be him, though.
You don't think he'll want to do it?
No.
Guy or Chalk, I would be interested in any of those three, and Mark. And
I'd be more interested in Mark than I would Chalk or Guy, because I think I would have to puke in my mouth a little bit.
Okay. You just think they're fakey. Or cocky, or...
Yeah, I mean, who just excuses himself from a national TV show? like Pascal did.
Not many.
Not, you're right. Because he didn't care about the recognition. He didn't care about, that's why I think he is for real. And then, Chalk is like,
Well, Chalk does say in the finale, we heard him say, I don't know if I can propose someone who won't tell me they love me. But Joan is not allowed to say that, I don't think.
oh, I mean, they can, but she can't. That's wrong.
I know, that's the rule, but she could. She could sneak and do it and say, don't tell anybody. So maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't. I feel like she's going to pick, drumroll, Guy. I think she's going to pick Guy. That's just what I'm saying.
You think she's going to pick Guy?
I think she's going to pick Guy. I do.
Okay. You've probably seen it.
No, I haven't. Although, the Instagrams, Chalk seems real happy. He's posting happy pics, so maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So, Tia, either way, you win and I lose. And you feel Joan will lose if you win. If Tia wins, Joan loses.
I do.
In case you didn't know, we have a contest, and Tia's 2 men are still left, and I'm a big loser. Tonight on ABC at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is the finale. We'll find out what all this cryptic stuff means about the twists and turns. It better be twisty and turny. We better not be tricked again. And you can stream it during the week. Just make sure you watch it before next Wednesday, the 20th, I think. It's when we'll recap. The season will be over, and Lord knows what we'll be saying. I just can't imagine what we're going to be saying. All will be revealed. So that'll be fun, exciting. And listen to us on Sunday. We have episodes on Sunday that have nothing to do with the Golden Bachelorette. And soon we'll be back to our normal programming where we talk about all kinds of topics and have a lot of fun. So, Tia, thank you for participating. You're just all about Pascal and nobody else. Everybody else makes you puke in your mouth.
I'm not even.
You don't mince words, do you, girl?
No, I don't.
You and Pascal are liking that way.
Can't have it.
All right, love you, Tia.
I love you.
Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.